On this episode of Canine Corner, we'll be sitting down with Dr. Paula to talk about weight loss for dogs, and we'll be sharing ways to use household products for your pet. Plus, we'll introduce you to this adorable little girl who's looking for a forever home. All this coming up right now on Canine Corner. I'm Riannon Trutanich, your host for Canine Corner, the show that your dog will give 2 paws up. We have a great show for you today. We'll sit down with Dr. Paula from Dr. Paula's Mobile Veterinary Service and talk about diet and exercise for dogs. And my co-host Popeye Trutanich will be joining me to share some household products that can help your dog. But first, let's meet adorable rescue pups from Pug Nation Rescue of Los Angeles.
Pug Nation has been around for about 8 years now. We have a facility in Gardena, and we have anywhere from 25 to 40 dogs at one time. We take the dogs out of the shelters. We take them from owners who can't keep them for whatever reason. And once in a while there's a stray on the street, and we look for the owners. If there's no chips, eventually we'll keep them and adopt them out. We are very easy to find. We have a website, which is pugnationla.org. We're on Facebook. Obviously, our phone number is listed, and we're open every single day from 12 to 4. You don't, including weekends. You don't need an appointment to come down and initially look at the dogs. It's real easy to adopt. You put in an application. We'll come out and do a house check. If you live out of area, we can either do a Skype check or a FaceTime or something similar. Once you're approved, you make an appointment, come down with an adoption counselor, and we'll match you up with the right dog. So we just like to get the message out for rescue that there are amazing dogs in rescue. Many people, they might have lost a dog and they want to start over with a younger dog. They don't necessarily want a senior. We get younger dogs often. If you're patient, you can rescue a perfect dog. But we do want to stress that seniors and special needs dogs have a lot of love to give. We work with you to help you take care of them, teach you how to take care of a special needs dog. And most people that have adopted special needs have said it's the most rewarding experience they've ever had. So we do ask that people think outside the box, come see our dogs, come meet our dogs, and maybe take home a senior or a special needs dog too.
This is Wiley. Wiley's 4.5 years old. He came from a shelter up near Bakersfield. As you can see, he's got the cutest face and his tongue's out. So that's one of our favorite things. Wiley is actually a great mix. He's very active when he wants to be, being 4.5 years old. But he's also one that loves to be cuddled. He loves to, curl up on the couch with you. So he's got that great mix of lots of energy, but also can be low energy. He does have a bit of a skin issue that we are bathing him with special medication twice a week. It's nothing that's contagious to humans or other dogs. It just makes his skin have a bit of a texture to it. Aside from the tongue, one of our other things is he's got little webbed toes, so which is part of his skin condition that we love so much about him. But he's great with other dogs. He adores being with the human and being snuggled and loved on, and he's just a great little boy. So this is Tomas. Tomas is 10 years old. He was a stray from the North Central shelter. We have no idea how he made it on his own, because when we first got him, he couldn't walk at all. He has a fracture in the front right wrist and a fracture near the back spine that both of those did not heal correctly, which is why he had the trouble walking. We found one day, after being with us maybe a week and a half, we saw him walking, and then 2 days later we saw him running. So he's very mobile. He does need to be expressed due to the spine issues, so we do express the urine and the bowels for him. We do that a few times a day. He's pretty easy most of the time. sometimes when we walk in, we find that he pees a little bit, but because of his condition, dogs like him are pretty prone to getting urinary tract infections. So we always want to make sure that the bladder is empty when we can. Aside from that, Tomas sometimes can be a picky eater, but we're finding he has quite a variety of things that he'll go for depending on what day it is and what mood he's in. He's great with other dogs, but typical pug, he loves to be in the arms of the human, being held like a baby, being snuggled. He's a great little guy. He's got such a classic, beautiful face. So he's, you know, considered special needs, but we find that the special needs dogs they bring that much joy to the family's home. So yeah, he's a good kid. So this is Cookie. Cookie is 6 years old. Cookie came to us from a shelter near this Bakersfield area. And I believe Cookie was a stray, which was another thing we can't even imagine how she made it on her own. Because when she came to the shelter, she only had one eye, and that eye had ruptured. So basically she had no sight, she was in a lot of pain. The shelter immediately enucleated the eye. We were able to pull her and bring her down to our facility for immediate care. And you know what, she actually, you'd never know that she lost both eyes. She has so much energy, she's so happy. She knows her name really well. A lot of times if you call her, she'll give you the head tilt before she starts walking your way. Obviously Unlocks needs some definite human guidance because she doesn't know where she is, but for having no eyes, she really does kind of get around pretty easily. She's great with other dogs, loves to play and wrestle with them. So she's awesome. Loves, of course, being with a human, but she's definitely very social. So if her forever home had another dog in it already, that would probably be best for her. She'd have someone to play with.
If you are interested in adopting one of the dogs, please contact Pug Nation Rescue of Los Angeles by visiting pugnationla.org or call 310-327-7871. Again, 310-327-7871. Those dogs are so cute. Have you ever thought about trying to find new uses for everyday products? Well, my co-host Popeye Trutanich is here now to help me share some ways that everyday products can help your dog. Did you know that you probably have products just laying around your house or even in your cupboard that can help your dog? So there are a couple household products that can help your dog out during mealtime. The first thing is petroleum jelly. Do you ever find that sometimes ants get into your dog's bowl if you leave your dog's bowl directly on the ground? Especially this time of year as it gets warmer, springtime, summertime, those little pesky insects can find their way in. So all you need to do is to use a little bit of petroleum jelly right around the bottom rim of your dog's bowl. Oh, you know what this means, huh? This is not a snack though, Popeye. You're just gonna take a little bit either on your finger, or you can put it on directly onto the bowl, just using the tube, or you can even use a Q-tip, whatever you're most comfortable with. I bet a paintbrush would work well too. And you're just gonna smear it right along there. And just make a nice thick layer all the way around the bottom rim of this bowl. This will stop the ants from attending the dog food buffet and let your dog have an ant-free dinner, which is definitely a good thing. Now, the next thing is, does your dog ever get really bad stains in their ceramic dog bowls? You know, like those brown stains when it's a water bowl and you're wondering where that came from? Well, there is something you can do to get those stains out. And what you'll need is actually definitely probably right in your cupboard. Just use a can of brown soda. And all we're gonna do, definitely do not give your dog the brown soda. That's very important. But you're just gonna pour the soda right into the bowl like this. And you're gonna let it sit for an hour. Just right there in the bowl. You can put it in the sink, but definitely keep it away from the floor where you normally put your dog's bowl because you wouldn't want your dog getting into it. Let it sit for an hour, scrub it, rinse it out with some soap and warm water afterwards, and those stains will be gone. Do you like cuddling with your dog on the couch or in bed, but don't like the fur and drool that they tend to leave behind sometimes? Well, we have a solution for that. If you have an old top sheet lying around your house, just if you're giving your sheets away or getting new sheets or just keep an extra set, you can take an old top sheet and put that on top of the couch or the bed, wherever your dog is going to be laying, and that will prevent your dog from getting fur on your comforter or on the couch itself. It's really handy. As soon as your dog gets off, you just pick it up, throw it in the washer, or take it outside and let all the fur out of it, and it's a great way to keep your furniture clean. So many cleaners on the market have harsh chemicals that could be harmful to your pet, but having a pet doesn't mean that you can't have a clean home. Popeye here is a bit of a neat freak. So there is a cleaner that you can make with ingredients that are right in your house already. You're gonna take a nice spray bottle like this. Again, Popeye, this one's not a treat. You're gonna take a little bit of water. Here on my spray bottle, it has a measuring on the side. You're gonna wanna go 50% water to 50% vinegar. Mix it in this, shake it up a little, and you have a non-toxic household cleaner. You can use this on floors, surfaces, bathrooms, and you don't have to worry about it being harmful to you or your pet. This is also great if your dog occasionally has accidents in the house, like somebody does. If the accident is on a hard surface, you're gonna wanna wipe it up first, for number one, of course. Then you're gonna wanna spray some of this directly on it, let it sit for a few minutes, wipe it up again, and then just wipe it down with a little water. If the accident is on a soft surface, like carpeting, sound familiar, Popeye? You're gonna want to again wipe the accident up first, spray some of this, really let it set in there a little bit longer than you would if it was on a hard surface. And then you're actually going to kind of dab it up with some paper towel or an old towel, something like that. And then you're actually gonna sprinkle a little bit of baking soda on that, let that sit overnight, and then vacuum it up. That's a great way to clean your home in a way that is not harmful to your dog. Of course, check with your vet in case your dog has any specific conditions or allergies. If you give any of these ideas a try, reach out and let us know. You can tag us on social media using #HouseholdHounds. Please remember that there are some household products that are harmful for pets, so always check with your veterinarian before trying anything new for your pup. We're gonna take a short break, but don't go anywhere. There's much more doggone fun when we come back.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
I'm on Jules spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
Roll over. Can't high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother.
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Did you know that 18.9% of dogs were considered obese in 2018, according to the Association of Pet Obesity Prevention? So it's very important to make sure that your dog maintains a healthy weight. Dr. Paula from Dr. Paula's Mobile Veterinary Service is here now to talk to us about how to help your dog lose weight. For some pet parents, it may be difficult to tell when their pet is overweight, but Dr. Paula says there are a few ways.
If your pet looks more like a coffee table than a dog, if your dog goes to the mailbox and is wheezing, outwinded already, if you hug your dog and it feels like you're hugging pillows, then your dog probably needs to lose some weight. So that you can look, and you can look up body condition scores for dogs, and you'll see, surprisingly, a lot of people don't realize their pets actually are on the overweight side. So you want to be able to have a little bit of tuck in your tummy like people. You should be able to fill the ribs without being able to see them. If you can see them, they're probably too skinny, but you want to be able to fill them. And usually in the wintertime, there's a little extra padding there. You should be able to fill kind of the pelvic bones without being able to see them as well. And that kind of is a lot of what dictates kind of overweight or not weight. The good news is they did do a study, I think in Europe, in which they showed to be a little overweight wasn't a big deal when it came to lifespan and mortality. Being too skinny was bad, and being grossly obese was bad. But having just a couple extra pounds can be a little protective. I think, yeah, you need a little couple extra pounds in case you get sick to kind of have something you can afford to lose.
And if you do have a pet that is overweight, there are ways that you can help your dog shed the pounds. What are the best ways to help your dog lose that weight from like a food perspective?
So there's various ways, basically thinking in tradition. So not only cutting back their food 25%, sometimes changing them to a wet diet instead of a dry diet. People are often like, oh, I'll just cut back their canned food. You actually want to cut back the dry food. It's the concentrated calories. So the more wet food compared to dry food, the more they're going to lose weight. They do have self-feeders that are portion controlled that you can get on the internet or such, and it controls how much you feed. Most importantly is feeding them a set amount. Not filling their bowl up to the top and only filling it when they eat it all is not the way to feed. Feeding twice a day is better than once a day because it increases the metabolism. If you need to, you can go to some type of special diet food. But you have to be careful because sometimes one food will say lighter or less calories and it's not actually got less calories than another one. There's not good rules on food labeling, but especially the prescription diets will often have ones that are like metabolic from Hills, and it actually is nutrigenomic. It turns on the genes to make them burn the calories. And then like Royal Canin's got their diets that are like moderate calories. So most foods, if you look, they've got like a lighter weight version.
Okay.
But most importantly, like I said, is decreasing the calories by 25%. So you need to know how much you're feeding and then cut it back.
Okay. If only I could do that for myself.
Yeah. Treats are a big source of extra calories that you don't realize. And say your dog gets 3 treats a day. You can still get 3 treats a day, but you need to take that one treat, break it into 3 parts. Because dogs do count. So if you have 2 dogs and you give one a big bone treat and you give the other one 2 little bone treats, the one who got the one bone thought he got gypped. Doesn't matter, it was twice the size. He thinks he got gypped because he only got 1. So they count. So break it up into 3 pieces instead of 3 treats, and already you've reduced some of those calories. You can give them other things instead, like carrots. They like those as treats. You can make them feel more full when you're cutting back the food by adding things like green beans to make them feel more full. Food off the table. I mean, I'm the last one to say don't give anything off the table because, I'm sorry, dog food doesn't come from some special dog food animal or dog food plant. It comes from food that we eat. So, you know, like you saying you have Popeye eat apples and blueberries. You're gonna find apples and blueberries in dog food as well. So making sure that you cut back on those bad table foods. Cheese is a bad table food. If you need to hide a pill, you can use low-fat cream cheese or a little bit of peanut butter. Those things aren't a lot of calories, but you want to reduce cheese, bacon. Those are the pork products, things that are fatty, things that, you know, add calories to us, probably add calories to them. Fruits you can give that are okay are like blueberries, apples, making sure there's no seeds, of course, bananas. Veggies that are good are green beans and carrots, maybe squash, pumpkin, sweet potatoes. The potatoes are all good.
Okay, a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Say I was gonna just like not change how my dog eats. He's gotta lose weight, but I'm not gonna change how he eats, and I'm just going to walk him.
Okay.
Is that going to help him lose the weight that he needs to, or is the calorie reduction and changing how I feed him, is that really where the key weight
There's
loss
definitely going to be a bigger effect if you decrease their food. But if you're feeding a set amount, it's possible if you're increasing energy demand, so you're increasing what the body is using up, but not increasing what you're feeding. So as long as he can't eat as much as he wants to compensate for the increased exercise, it is possible with having a negative energy balance now, that you could lose a little weight because you're using up more than you're taking in.
How do I know how much to feed my dog?
So Recommendations for ideal body weight can be found by your veterinarian. Sometimes the breeders, when you acquire them, will know. They do set breed standards online as well. Sometimes when you're like Popeye and you don't have a specific breed to follow,
To call your own.
yeah, then you kind of take how he looks and kind of cut back if you need to, or increase. We usually increase or decrease by 25% because we don't want them to lose more than 2% of their body weight at one time. The bags do have recommendations that you can look at. Just beware, sometimes it can be a little bit more than they need to.
Okay. And is the bag too where I can find the calorie count?
You can,
yeah.
but there's a lot of fancy calculations to kind of figuring out how many calories they need. It's much easier just to cut back by 25%.
If you are interested in contacting Dr. Paula, please visit drpaulamobile.com or call 310-953-2270. Again, 310-953-2270. Dr. Paula is back now to share some exercise tips for our furry friends. How do I know how much exercise my dog should be getting?
So exercise definitely depends upon the breed of animal you have. If you've got a working dog, a herding dog, a hunting dog, they're going to be very high energy dogs. They're going to need a lot of energy. Young puppies definitely need lots of energy. So they need lots of exercise to help them feel calm and relaxed. But if you've got maybe a greyhound that's been bred to do a quick sprint and then they are tired out, they are a couch potato and they're going to just kind of sleep the rest of the day. Then you've got your snub-nosed little brachiocephalic dogs like your pugs and your bulldogs, which are going to get tired much easier from running around. So we don't want to exercise them as much. They're definitely not hiking buddies.
If I can't take my dog for a walk, is throwing a ball in the yard good exercise?
Walks give some environmental enrichment as well, smells and sounds, but any exercise is better than no exercise, so definitely one shouldn't feel guilty if they can only go out and throw a ball, because that's better than them getting nothing.
Right.
If I can't have a walk or I can throw a ball, at least throwing a ball is better than no walk. And then there's some animals that you should not feel bad if you can't take them for a walk. If your dog is really fearful and is scared of other dogs, don't take him for a walk. You're not benefiting him. If your dog's really aggressive towards other dogs, do not take him for a walk. You're not benefiting him. Walks are not mandatory. They're good, but they're not mandatory, especially for certain animals. If you have an older pet, don't walk them till they're sore. Take that into account. If they're overweight or they're recovering from an injury, you may have to slowly increase how much exercise they're getting.
As your dog ages, should you change the frequency of exercise for your dog?
Definitely. Kind of read your dog. If your dog seems like it's wanting to lay down or it's sore after walks, then you need to decrease it. And make sure your older dog does have the ability to have pain control after walks. Obviously, we don't want to be in pain afterwards, not want to move around. Arthritis responds well to movement, lubricating those joints. So we do want them to be pain-free so they do get up and want to exercise.
Is swimming good exercise for dogs?
Swimming can be a good exercise, especially for animals that have arthritis or other things that need something taken off their joints. Swimming can be great. Just make sure we're getting the ears cleaned and dried well so they don't get ear infections.
What signs should I look out for to make sure the exercise is not too intense for my dog?
They seem sore afterwards. If you see them like they're really having trouble catching their wind, they're panting a lot. If they seem to have exercise intolerance, coughing afterwards, those are all kind of warning signs that you should take into account. Limping is a late stage of pain, so if they're slow to want to get up or down, then probably we overdid it.
Okay.
But again, exercise is important to get those joints lubricated, so it's more important just to be able to give them some pain control or something else so they can interact. But if your dog is pulling you back towards the house rather than wanting to go for the walk, then you need to take that into account too. We never want to, some people think that they should do the immersion therapy or submersion therapy with their animals to get them used to a leash or used to new experiences. That's just going to backfire on you and they're going to become more fearful, possibly aggressive. So when we expose them to new things, we want to make sure that they're enjoying it, that they're enjoying going for a walk, that we kind of take all that into account, that we make it as pleasant as possible, treats, fun things, make it worth it.
What is Dr. Paula's mobile veterinary service?
So we're a house call practice. We go in people's homes for the convenience of you and the comfort of your pets. We're fear-free certified, meaning we try to make it as fear-free of an experience as possible. We're very treat-based for that reason. So we do ask if they have food allergies before we start. Sometimes we play with toys instead of treats, whatever your dog is into.
You're very popular with the dogs.
Yeah. But it gives us a benefit of being able to see them in the environment that they're comfortable in. We can do it out in the truck. Some people bring us their pets out in the truck, but a lot of times we're doing it in their homes. So they're happily in their beds, on their couches, in their backyards where they're happy. We see dogs, cats, pocket pets, and it kind of gives us the opportunity to also see their environment so we can get a bigger picture of what's going on.
If you are interested in contacting Dr. Paula, please visit drpaulamobile.com or call 310-953-2270. Again, 310-953-2270. If you have a question, contact us and we'll be sure to get you the right answer. Call us at 310-618-5762 or email us at caninecorner@torranceca.gov. Now, if you missed the rescue pups at the beginning of our show, or if you're anything like me and want to see the adorable dogs again, here's your recap. Wiley is a 4.5-year-old male pug. He has the best personality. He loves hanging out on the couch with his human, but is also active. He gets along with other dogs and loves people. He's a great dog and can't wait to have a family to call his own. Tomas is a 10-year-old male pug. He gets along with other dogs but loves spending time with humans and cuddling. He was rescued from the North Central shelter. At the time, he had trouble walking, but after being with Pug Nation for a week and a half, he began to walk. He is such a sweet dog and would love to be your best friend. Cookie is a 6-year-old female pug. She was rescued from a shelter near Bakersfield. She lost both her eyes, but she is still very active and gets along well. She loves people, but also likes other dogs. She is an absolute sweetheart and would be the best companion. If you are interested in adopting one of the dogs, please contact Pug Nation Rescue of Los Angeles by visiting pugnationla.org or call 310-327-7871. Again, 310-327-7871. Now, if you want even more Canine Corner or just want to say hello or share a photo of your pup with us, we always love to hear from you. Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's all the time we have today. Thanks for joining us here on Canine Corner. I'm Riannon Trutanich, and we'll see you next time.